Hello everyone, this is Pal Ponder on Weather coming at you with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the update on Winter Storm Kade. So before I do get started, if you do like weather related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload about 5 videos a week to keep you updated. All right, so let's get started. So here, let's start off with the overall watches and warnings. And how often do you see this? We've got widespread winter storm warnings for Texas, much of West Texas into El Paso, on the west side of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, going into parts of the Panhandle, and this will swing all the way into Oklahoma and into Missouri, and then that's in the pink shaded area, and we do have a spot in New Mexico, but in the purple, we've got winter weather advisories on the outskirts. If you live I-35 west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're in a winter weather advisory, and then much of the surrounding areas of the winter storm warning, you're under a winter weather advisory, which is a step down from a winter storm warning. And then we had this storm system that played out today over Colorado. I know Boulder dumped 13 inches. Denver picked up another 6 to 7. Utah picked up 19 inches just 2 days ago from this storm. So this has been an incredible storm, and it's deepening right now in Texas. So we're going to go over this right now. So if you take a look at the latest satellite picture at the precipitation types, we can see a developing low pressure in West Texas. We've been actually kind of talking about this for several days now, and it's coming to fruition, dumping some heavy snow into the Panhandle and extreme parts of West Texas. And you can see the freezing line right here, this red shaded line. And we've got, storms breaking out ahead of it, where we had a huge transition. We went from the 70s down into, the wind chill of 35, and we're going to be struggling to get above freezing in Dallas-Fort Worth area tomorrow. But areas out west, you're going to be dumping some heavy snow. So let's take you on through this. So as this kind of develops, it's going to be deepening overnight, and this is tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. We've got some pretty heavy snowfall, believe it or not, in places like Wichita Falls, Lubbock, like places like San Angelo is dumping some heavy snow just basically northwest of the DFW area. And then you're going to have a fine line where you're going to have that transition, because there's a warm air aloft. Where that snow falls, it's going to melt and then freeze on contact. So you are going to be dealing with some sleet and freezing rain just to the northwest of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Predominantly, if you live west of I-35, you're going to be dealing with predominantly just a cold rain. And then out ahead of it, as this system will crank up and start moving into Oklahoma. And as it swings into Oklahoma tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be dumping some more heavy snow in places like Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Norman, and then it'll start eventually going into Missouri and dumping some more snow. I know you've had 4 or 5, probably 6 different snow events now for Missouri, places like Columbia. St. Louis is going to get some more snow, and then it's going to swing into Illinois, where it's going to be dumping some more snow. And then down south, you're going to have to deal with some severe weather aspect of it too from this storm, where we're going to have severe weather Wednesday into Thursday, bleeding into South Carolina, into North Carolina. But like out ahead of it, it is going to be dumping some pretty good snow amounts and Illinois and upper parts of Indiana. If we swing it on through starting now Thursday morning, again, we've got leftover snow still in Missouri. Now this will swing up and start getting into New England, where we'll be dumping upstate New York, and then into Vermont and New Hampshire, start bleeding into Maine. But a ton of rain on the south side where you really don't need it, in Georgia and Tennessee and the Carolinas, where you just seen a relentless amount of rain. And honestly, I don't really see any let up in sight for you guys there. But as this swings up, it'll actually dump into a little bit more colder air by Friday and start increasing some of the snow amounts in New England. So now we're getting in some of the moderate snows in Maine and upstate Vermont and New Hampshire, and some pretty good snowfall totals coming up for you this weekend for you guys in that area. And as this pulls through, we'll have some cold air bleeding down on the north side. So it will start snowing again for you guys in like West Virginia, parts of extreme Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, parts of eastern, like western Pennsylvania, upstate New York, into Vermont, New Hampshire, and pretty much the northern parts of Maine is going to get a pretty good snow event, and then maybe like 1 inch, possibly two in Boston. But like I said, as this swings across by early Saturday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, it is really going to dig deep. I mean, we've this area hasn't really seen that much snow, but it's going to be seeing some pretty good, some double-digit amounts coming up for this weekend in some areas, and we've got heavier snow amounts in like Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine. And I'll go over some of the snow amounts here in a little bit. But down south, let's go over Texas first, where we've got that system developing first. And Wednesday, this is going to be an all-day Wednesday event going into Thursday, where you can see if you live here's basically right here is the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You're going to miss out on it. But if you just live west of the city, you're going to be picking up some pretty heavy snowfall, like places like Wichita Falls, where they're going to get maybe between 6 to 8 inches of snow. But there's spots out in West Texas, isolated spots, could see up to 10 plus inches of snow, believe it or not. Places like Lubbock, 4, 5, 6 inches, and parts of West Texas could see some snow. And this is a slight possibility. Only the Euro model's actually picking up this, but in extreme southeastern parts of Texas, going in towards Houston, places like Conroe, Huntsville, you could see a little dusting, maybe a ½ inch Thursday morning from this system. So if anybody is out there that are following me from this area, if you see this verifying coming up on Thursday morning, please leave that in the comments below. I would love to see if that is going to verify. And like I said, this will come up into extreme parts of Arkansas, but especially into Missouri, dumping some more snow. And if we expand the view and kind of focus in Missouri now, like I said, places like Columbia, where they've already seen 4 or 5 different snow events, is going to pick up several more inches. Places like St. Louis is going to pick up more snow. So the central part of Missouri is going to be in the bullseye of this event. And then even the central part of Illinois is also going to be in the bullseye, and the central part of Indiana is going to be in the bullseye. So I know like Indiana and Ohio really hasn't, unfortunately, has been missing out on some of these systems, but I do think at least you're going to be picking up several inches of snow from this event spread out over a couple days. So you're going to be hit on the front end, and then that back side is going to be coming in the back side, because this actually takes you out through Saturday. So you'll be getting some snow, Thursday, Friday, but then more potentially on some spots on Saturday. And there is definitely some snow into West Virginia as well. But if we take it up the New England coast, and these are where some of the heavier snowfall amounts come into play as this colder air sinks in. So we do have some heavier snow amounts, double-digit amounts, in northern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, some double digits, 12 plus amounts coming up, especially into like central Maine for this weekend. So definitely be looking out for that. But again, along the coast where, you've been missing out a lot of these storms, you're going to unfortunately miss out again, where I think Boston may get clipped with an inch, possibly 2 from this system. But it's mainly an inland storm off this event. But again, some pretty sizable snow amounts coming up for New England this weekend for Friday and Saturday on this system. So I wanted to give you a quick update tonight on Winter Storm Kade and how this is going to play out, because this is, essentially it's coming from all the way to Texas, all the way to Maine. So this is a pretty widespread event with that Arctic air that sunk in, but then you have that southeast ridge on the south side. So be sure to like this video and definitely share with your friends on social media that are impacted in the areas, and definitely subscribe to my channel and catch me in the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.